forecast video here by Midwest WX. Today we're going to be looking over some snowfall potential for the Midwest United States and also down to the central United States as we approach Thanksgiving. I'm sure many of you have heard or seen something about a major blizzard that might be happening Thanksgiving weekend. That is going into the 20th, 29th, 30th, and even into early December. So what do we really know about this? Well, honestly, not much. As these model runs get further and further out, it gets harder and harder to decipher the truth of what's actually going to happen, but it can kind of give us a little bit of a general idea of what is actually going to go down. So if we kind of run through this model here, this is called the GFS. It's more of the more accurate long-term model runs, but there's no such thing as an accurate long-term model run. But like I said before, this one can give us a general idea of what we can expect to see. So as we move into the middle of the week there, Thanksgiving week, we can see some rain, some showers start to pick up over central Minnesota and the Iowa area circled right around here. If it gets a little colder, we can maybe see some snow flurries from that, but nothing that's too out of the ordinary for this time of the year. As we start to move closer and closer towards the end of the week and closer towards Thanksgiving, you can see this big, what we call trough, which is this low pressure system up here that's actually going to bring a lot of cold air down from Canada and the northwest United States. These blue lines here that you see indicate where we might be able to see snow, and this blue indicates where snow could be falling, possibly in the future. As you can see, we have some snow reaching down to possibly the southern areas in central Missouri and also central Minnesota and the Dakotas as well. This, however, isn't the main system that people are talking about. As you can see, as we get further and further into the end of the week and past Thanksgiving and towards Thanksgiving weekend, we can see another big trough come over off of the Utah, Colorado, Wyoming area. And this is that big blizzard that you've been getting a lot of hype online about. But as you noticed, as you look up towards this bar here, you can see we're getting closer and closer to the end of this model run. So as you know, or as you would expect, the results would get more and more unlikely to actually happen. But once again, this can give us an idea of what we might see. And here's what that snow as it comes in as we move into the 30th of November. So if you have any travel plans, kind of keep that in mind that this could be a possibility. We're seeing sleet and freezing rain here in central Iowa and a lot of snowfall over the Dakotas, southern and central Minnesota. As we move further along here, you can see now that system really starts to eject to the northwest. We get some heavy rain, some heavy sleet and freezing rain in central Minnesota, southern Minnesota, and a little bit of snow accumulation also in central Minnesota to northern Minnesota. And then the system will move out. Now we're getting into what we call no man's land, fantasy wonderland, where we're probably not going to see this happen. But once again, it can give us a general idea. So the consensus is, yes, snow is possible into after Thanksgiving weekend and into early December. Freezing rain and sleet seem to be on the table as well, but we don't really know how much or when it's going to happen or even if it will happen. It looks pretty likely, though, that we'll see something as all the models are starting to agree that this is definitely a possibility. To pull up another model run here, this will kind of show us snowfall totals. So I'm just going to skip ahead here towards the very end, and boom, there it is, that blizzard that comes through. Central and northern Iowa kind of seeing that range of 4 to 7.5 towards 8 to 9 inches up by the border. Closer to 10 inches of snowfall over the Dakotas as well. Central Minnesota, northern Minnesota just kind of seeing that dusting. Kind of a little bit of a gap here in the model, but that's kind of where we're seeing some of that freezing rain and ice accumulation. Once again, this is not going to happen. We're not going to see 7 to 10 inches of snow in northern Minnesota, southern Iowa. We could see 4 to 5 or anywhere around that range. This once again gives us an idea. When we see models like this, we know like, hey, this is probably going to happen, but we don't know how much is going to happen for sure. One other thing I wanted to take a look at is our freezing rain that could fall. So we're going to actually pull that model up here, and we're going to run this bad boy out to the end, and we'll see that we have, there it is, as that blizzard comes through. Some freezing rain amounts here in central Iowa. This is, once again, not going to happen. This is fantasy wonderland for this model. As you're seeing, over half an inch of ice in central Nebraska in the Sioux Falls area. Not going to happen, but once again, freezing rain is on the table as we get these models that show these high amounts of freezing rain falling. It's definitely a possibility. So if you have travel plans that Monday, Tuesday, and even Sunday night after Thanksgiving weekend, keep in mind that this could be a little bit of a hindrance over the Midwest for Iowa, Minnesota, Wisconsin, and the Dakotas. I'll put another video as we get closer to this event to kind of let you know what has changed. But for right now, expect travel impacts Thanksgiving weekend. Especially if you live in the Midwest, Minnesota, Dakotas, Wisconsin, Iowa, it could happen. So we'll go to a little bit more of a conservative site now as we look at the NWS and NOAA, their Climate Prediction Center. This can kind of give us a long-term outlook of what could happen. Here we see this blue area here and this dark blue as well. This is actually what they call a slight risk of heavy snowfall that could happen. So as you can see, slight risk of heavy snow is outlined by the NWS and NOAA here. So it's definitely a possibility. These government agencies who have, billions of dollars in funding for forecasting are picking up the same things as well. Like, hey, heavy snowfall is possible. Thanksgiving weekend. Don't count it out. Travel impacts are likely, and this massive blue area. I'm gonna get rid of this box here for y'all real quick. This massive blue area you're seeing down here, as well, is highlighting below normal temperatures. So it's going to be chilly. It's going to be chilly leading up into Thanksgiving and past Thanksgiving. Chilly temperatures paired with precipitation usually equals either snow or ice. So keep that in mind. So once again, take this all with a grain of salt. Definitely a possibility though. Don't go believing those online hype posts that are saying, "Oh, we're getting 24 to 36 inches of snow." That's not going to happen. But what is going to happen is some sort of impacts over the Midwest come Thanksgiving weekend. So don't be scared. Be prepared. Make sure that you're ready to deal with any travel implications that could happen, and stay up to date on this. One of the best ways to be prepared for the weather and what could happen is to just be constantly checking it. So make sure you come back to this site later in the week, as I will give an updated forecast on what could happen and what we could see, and the snowfall implications that are just around the corner. So take care. God bless, and I'll see you on the next video.